I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye joda zoge jonam la janjo bardo dane gyapsu age jen zoge be sonam ge jola benje sanye jobare jo Sanye joda zoge jonam la janjo bardo dane gyapsu age jen zoge be sonam jola benje sanye jobare jo Sanye joda zoge chonam la chanjo bardo dani gyapsuch nage jin zoge be sonam ge dola benjir sanye rubare sho Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum desham dathagato yavatat desham cha Evam vati mahashamana esa Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat desham chayo nirodha Evam vati mahashramanaye svaha Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham dathagato yavatat desham chayo nirodha Evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Okay. This morning we were doing this verse. What is it? 116. Yes, 116 or 330, I think. Ceasing karmas and afflictions is nirvana. Karmas and afflictions arise from conceptual thought. These arise from mental elaboration of grasping to existence. Elaboration ceases by way into emptiness. So this is what we were discussing this morning. And okay. So the 5 points. Of the 5 points, the first one is the first one is huh? Yes. Okay. Okay, what was the 5 points we discussed this morning? Yes. Amananda, suffering, then contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and self-grasping ignorance. Okay, this is so important. If we know this, then on that basis we can see how our mind works. This is very important. And of the 5, the first one is the resultant state, the result. The suffering is the result that which we go through. It's so obvious. And then the remaining 4, they are the causes. So when with this, the essence of dependent origin mantra, where it says ye dharma hetu prabhava, all these phenomena arise from causes. Hetum tesham tathagato hyavatat. What these causes are is taught by the Tathagata. So what are these causes? These are 4 causes. So as you recite the mantra, we should well remember that hetum desham tathagato hevatat. When you recite this, okay, what these causes are is indicated by the Buddha, Karmas, afflictions, inappropriate tension, and self-grasping ignorance. This is what we have to remember. And then the desham jayo nirodha evam vadi. The cessation of these causes as well is taught by the great seer. Cessation. How to bring an end to these causes? Say, to stop the contaminant karmas, we have to stop the afflictions. To stop the afflictions, we have to stop the inappropriate attention. And to stop that, we have to stop the self-grasping ignorance. So for that, we have to identify each one of them. What are they? Okay, so this, I like to explain this in a form of a very simple example. Let's say that how our mind works. Okay, how our mind works. This is where philosophy, psychology, these two come together for us to know the psychology and philosophy both. So first, let's say in terms of psychology, how it works is that let's say that. Okay, by the way, is there anybody whose the birthday is approaching? Birthday approaching nearby? Anybody? Anyone? No one. Okay, here, Serene. Serene, when is your birthday? 19th. Okay, 19th, which means that we are not here, right? Okay, let's say each one of us. Yes, we can prepone. Yes. Okay. Let's say that you're in your bed, sleeping, and it's very unconventional. Usually you get up at like some people maybe 8 o'clock. When I say breakfast, 8, so 7 to 45, right? So, and then one day your mom opens the door, and at 6 o'clock, you're in the deep sleep. Then your mother said, "Happy birthday," right? Happy birthday. And actually it is a disturbance for you, your sleep disturbed. But your mom is holding something in her hand. Happy birthday, right? Okay, so what do you do? Because you are in deep sleep, you are very hazy. So what do you do? Hey, Dorji, tell me. What will you do?
You ask her.
Huh?
You ask her what she has in her hand.
You don't ask, you can see.
You don't see.
You have eyes.
Easy.
So what do you do?
Wake up.
Okay. No, usually what do you do? What do you do? Say the mother, yes, you can ask. Mother, you can ask. But if somebody else, what do you do? You then? Sleep and avoid. Okay, anybody else? What will you do? You are a little hazy, right? You are seeing something, but you are hazy. What will you do? Huh? No, happy birthday, and something. She's holding something. Okay, anybody else? No, how do you what do you do to make the hazy go away? Yes, this is what you're going to do, but you don't. You have totally forgotten what you've been doing. What do you say? The two girls? Rub your eyes for what? To pay attention. You're getting it? Okay. To pay attention. Let's not forget it. So first you come in contact with your eye consciousness and what your mother is holding, right? And then because you're not seeing too clearly, so you rub your eyes to see clearly. So pay attention. Paying attention, you will have a definite understanding that it is a brand new iPhone 13 Pro. Now 14, right? 14 is coming now. Brand new today. Are you sure? Oh, brand new iPhone 14 Pro. You're getting it? What happens? What happens to your feeling? pleasant feeling comes. You want it, not want it? You want it. You want this pleasant feeling? Yes. What made this pleasant feeling? Because of this iPhone 14, brand new iPhone 14 Pro. Right? So because of that, because you want to sustain this the pleasant feeling, you will go to the intention to grab it will happen. So the first one is come in contact. Your consciousness comes in contact with the object your mother is holding. Because you're not seeing it, you rub your eyes to pay attention. Number 2. Paying attention, you come to know, definitely you come to know discrimination that it is iPhone, brand new iPhone 14 Pro. Then with this, the feeling is pleasant feeling. With the pleasant feeling, because you like it, you to sustain it, you go to get this object so that your pleasant feeling will last longer. Intention to grab it. So 5 things happening. So this is the same. What are they? Contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, and intention. So this intention which makes your hands move towards the object. Movement. Intention makes the movement happen. So this movement is known as karma. The movement. So this intention, precisely if somebody were to identify what karma is, it is your, say, the mental function of the intention. Mental function intention is the one which makes you, which makes your physical, verbal, mental to move. So that is the karma. Intention is the karma. Okay. No, not attention.
No, intention.
This is the karma. Intention. Yeah. Okay. So with this, now what happens is that, let's say that the as Yunmila said, right? Then okay, whatever is in my mother's hand, this is mine finally. Don't disturb my my sleep. I'll go back to sleep. Right? You go to bed, go back to sleep. And what your mother was actually holding was iPhone 13 Pro. And you dreamt of iPhone 14 Pro. You getting it? You're dreaming of attending this class, and I'm holding this mobile. And you look at it, right? You're dreaming now. You look at it. Oh, wow, it's 7th, right? Hey, 7th. 7th Pro, what brand new iPhone 14 Pro is going to launch? Okay, yes, this one. You're getting it? So first you saw iPhone, let's say mobile. You looked at it very clearly and you see there's brand new iPhone 14 Pro. Then what do? Is that, Geshe, can I have my mobile exchange with yours? Yundela will say this. And each one of you say it. And then Yundela from distance said, no, I already said it before. And then the two of you had fist fight. Right? Fist fight. With the fist fight, what happens? Is there any place close by? Jail? Yes. So both of you end up in jail. You're getting it? First, what happens? That in your dream, that I raised this mobile. So you saw the mobile. Dream mobile as real mobile. Number 2, you look at it very carefully. You see there is brand new iPhone 14 Pro on 7th of September 2022. Wow. Then I like it. Geshe, you're getting it? I like it. Right? I like it. I want to have it. Geshe, can I have my mobile phone exchange with yours? Then the other person said, no, I said already. So you have a fist fight. Attachment to the mobile and anger towards your competitor. So with this, what happens? Fist fight happened. That is a karma. This karma ends you up behind the bars. Prison. Prison is not a good place. Okay. So what they say, how many things, and then your poor mother, right? Not hearing from you. Otherwise she hears from you every day. Your report of the programs here. And today nothing happened. No news coming from you. The mother so worried, called the office. Oh, I'm very sorry, right? Your son, your daughter is behind the bars, right? And the poor mother goes to the jail. Why you end up in prison? What's prison? Samsara. What's the point number one? Samsara. Why do you end up in prison? You went to Diyapa for 70 stanzas. 70 stanzas of emptiness. Why do you end up in prison? Right? Oh, why? Why do you end up in prison? Tell me. No, don't make it very boring. Because I've been specified, right? That is karma. Karma. Why did you fight? Why did you fight? Hey. Huh? Oh no, why did you fight? Huh? Because of my attachment to the iPhone and aversion towards the competitor. You are getting it? Anger towards the... So this karma is because of the afflictions. Anger towards the attachment to the mobile and aversion towards the competitor. So these two are anger and attachment. This is a mental state. These two afflictions. What may they have? Of course, and the aversion towards the competitor is because of attachment to the mobile. Why are you attached to this mobile? Right? No. It's a real what? iPhone, brand new iPhone 14 Pro, the first day, right? Okay, are you sure it's iPhone the 14 Pro? Are you sure? Yes, of course. First, there's mobile there, right? Mobile there, and it is. You look at it, it's really that one, new one. So, exaggerating the quality of the mobile, exaggerating the quality of the mobile as iPhone 14 Pro, and then, are you sure? Are you not dreaming? It's an actual dream mobile. It's not a mobile in the first place. You're getting it? So first you exaggerate the object. First you exaggerate the object, the dream mobile as real mobile. Then you start building up the stories. Then you see that as iPhone 14 Pro. You exaggerate the quality of the mobile. Then the afflictions arise. Then face fight karma happens. Then the jail in samsara. You are getting it? Okay. So in this case, if you don't want to be in samsara, what should you have done? What should you not have done? Immediate. What is that? No fight. You're getting it? So simply, if I'm attached to Geshe mobile and I don't like this person, if you say this, police will not come to arrest you. Right? I like his mobile. Mentally, you think about it. Yes, I like this mobile. I don't like this person. Police will not arrest you. Only when you fight, they will arrest you. Right? So the karma, that is immediate cause, is the karma. What made you fight? If you don't want to fight, what should you have not done? Hey, twin. Huh? Yes, Yambela. Stop aversion towards your competitor and stop attachment to the mobile. iPhone 14, what is that? Brand new iPhone 14 Pro, right? Stop attachment to that. Stop the affliction. To stop the affliction, what should have done in this case? Don't exaggerate, right? Don't say exaggerate, right? Don't stop exaggerating the quality of the mobile. Stop exaggerating that the mobile that he's holding is iPhone 14 Pro. You hearing it? How to stop it? How to stop it? Don't see the dream mobile as a real mobile. How not to see the dream mobile as a real mobile? You have to see the dream mobile as a dream mobile. How to see that? How to see the dream mobile as dream mobile? Don't make it boring. Wisdom of emptiness. Wake up! You're getting to wake up. Okay. Yes. Because you're dreaming. Everything's happening in a dream. Not now. Not now. I said, imagine that you're dreaming. I said it. No, what in the dream? In the dream, the arrest also happened, jail also happened in the dream.
She missed the first part, and then everything was.
I saw you missed the first part.
No, I was confused with how does it matter if it's a dream mobile or a real mobile attached attachment to any sort of mobile is leading to that. That was the confusion.
No, that is, you're true. Be it real mobile or dream mobile, if you fail to see the dream mobile as dream mobile, then all these problems will happen. If you see the dream mobile as a real, the dream mobile as is dream mobile, not as a real mobile, then these problems will stop. You getting it? Good. Okay. So with this, we see that what it says, the ceasing of karmas and afflictions is nirvana. So if you want to experience the nirvana, freedom from suffering, what should you do? You should stop the contaminant karmas, because karmas give rise to misery, suffering. If you don't want to have the contaminant karmas, what should you do? Stop the afflictions, attachment and aversion, primarily these two, and then ignorance. Stop the afflictions. How to stop the afflictions? Stop the exaggerating the qualities of the object. The person is so nasty. It's not so nasty. This is so good. It's not so good. Stop exaggerating the good qualities and stop exaggerating the bad qualities. Exaggerating the characteristics of the object is known as inappropriate attention. What is inappropriate attention? Is exaggerating the qualities of the object, exaggerating the characteristics of the object. False characterization of the object is known as inappropriate attention. Okay, so if you don't want to exaggerate the qualities of the object, what should you do? Then what should you do? You should stop seeing the object as real. Not only the characteristics, but the object per se as real. How to stop this? How to stop seeing the object per se as real? How to stop that? Is by seeing the emptiness. So it says, ceasing of karmas and afflictions is nirvana. Karmas and afflictions arise from conceptual thought. This conceptual thought, okay, are you following me? Ceasing karmas and afflictions is nirvana. That is clear for you. Karmas and afflictions arise from conceptual thought. This conceptual thought is the inappropriate attention. Or you can write it, conceptual thought of inappropriate attention. These arise, these meaning the conceptual thought. And these conceptual thoughts arise from mental elaboration of grasping at true existence, grasping at objective existence. So how to stop that? The elaboration, grasping of true existence, elaboration ceases by the wisdom of emptiness. It becomes clear now? Clear? Okay. It says ceasing of karmas and afflictions is nirvana. Nirvana, opposite of nirvana is samsara. How the samsara stops and you experience nirvana is through stopping the karmas, contaminant karmas. How to stop the karmas is by stopping the afflictions. And how to stop the afflictions? Second line says, karmas and afflictions arise from conceptual thought. What is this conceptual thought? Inappropriate attention. What do you mean by inappropriate attention? A mind which exaggerates the quality of the object. Mind which exaggerates the quality, attribute, characteristic of the object. Okay, so if you don't want this conceptual thought, how to stop this? These arise from mental elaboration. What is that mental elaboration? Self-grasping, ignorance, grasping the true existence of things. So how to stop this grasping true existence of things? Elaboration ceases through the wisdom of emptiness. So with the wisdom of emptiness, the elaboration, self-grasping ignorance stops. When self-grasping ignorance stops, what happens? Inappropriate attention stops. Self-grasping ignorance stops, then inappropriate attention stops. Inappropriate stops, affliction stops. Affliction stop, contaminant karma stops. Contaminant karma stops, suffering stops. So, of the two hands, one hand is removed completely, internal factors removed completely. Then what is left? Only the external factors removed. No sound. Sound of the misery stops. This is when you experience total fearlessness, where your mind is not at all affected by anything else. That is a state when you become the total fearless. Okay. Yes.
the memory.
Say the
So the
memory.
come with the memory coming up of suppose you interacted with a person 10 years back and you had a very bad experience. So it is not so that person against whom I have aversion arising now. I have a memory of a hurtful encounter of him, which is not exaggerated, which is what actually happened. And that comes up in my conceptual thought, that memory. And that triggers my karma and my.
Okay, all of us listen. This is so important. Don't underestimate somebody else asking question. Even the question may not be so good, or you may think that it's no good, but listen to it well, and you can learn a lot from these questions. Oftentimes, I cannot address every point. So when people bring up these things, they are very beneficial. Say it again. So see if it makes sense to us. You getting it? Yes.
So in this case, there's a person who I have aversion arising at this moment, whom I had encountered 10 years back, which was a hurtful encounter. So I
Not 10 years.
whatever.
Let's say a few weeks ago.
But there is a hurtful memory. So this inappropriate action is not an exaggerated thing. It has actually happened, which is in my memory.
Are you sure it actually happened?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Okay, so you are saying it's a memory of something, a memory of something which actually happened. So that memory comes to your mind and that triggers the afflictions. Okay. This is true, right? These things happen. Oftentimes, particularly when you sit by yourself, then the earlier memories come back and then agitation arises, anger arises. Yeah. So where is the inappropriate attention here? Huh? Yes.
Is it that the inappropriate attention was in that prior encounter? So
So your name, your ritual. What ritual is saying is that inappropriate attention is not happening now. It has already happened before. So it's a memory of not the memory of that incident mixed with the inappropriate attention which happened then. It's wonderful. It's amazing. Sorry? Which seed? Hurt. Yes, of course. The feeling hurt. Why this hurt happened? Because of that. Exactly. Not 10 years back. 10 years. What happened 10 years back? If you still hold it, it's terrible. Okay, it's fine. Then don't fight with me. Yeah, it's fine. 10 years ago. Yes, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, the memory of something which happened 10 years ago. Yes, a very intense one. 10 years ago that happened, the memory of that. Okay, the hurt that happened, the memory came back, and then it's flared up. And so, where is the inappropriate attention? This question, right? Okay, so Rachel gave the answer. Did you follow what Rachel said? Okay, let's say that say like what? That person said something nasty towards you. That person 10 years ago said something nasty towards you, very nasty. And that remains in your mind. You getting it? So for example, okay, look, what does it mean by inappropriate attention? I'm going to make it very quick. Say that same day, say you are a stupid lady, right? That was what that person said. And in front of your husband, your family, what a stupid lady, right? And you become so angry. Just imagine if it is a very little boy, very little, age 6, and from a neighbor, from your neighbor, a little boy says, "What a stupid lady," right? It will not hurt you. It's cute. Such a small boy can say, like, very tiny boy can say that. It's a toddler can say like a stupid lady, right? And they're so cute. You will not feel angry, right? And then you go to, in fact, caress the child. "Oh, nice, where are you from?" But when the elderly, when the adult said that you're stupid, then it hurts you. Why? It's the same word, but one affects you, one not. Exaggeration is happening. Okay, so the point is, let's not mix the two things. Memory of memory is one thing. Memory of what? Memory of the incident. You're getting it? So you have to trust the incident, not memory. You're getting it? Incident that happened 10 years ago, for example, the loss of near and dear ones. Loss of near and dear ones. So there, so that person is so dear to me. Yes, of course. Of course, that person was so dear to me. I lost that, and you're going to deep grief. So, in fact, if you think very carefully, you'll see that why. Okay, this is where nuances creep in. So why you feel that this person is so dear to you, right? And why others are not dear to you. If you think about it, there's a bias there. There's bias there, right? Say what kind of bias there? I'll tell you. This bias, I'll tell you, is so dear to me, right? I'll also say yes. So the conventional speaking, in the conventional meaning, in the ordinary world, yes, we fully empathize with you. But if you think very broadly, we see that how do you see the bias? Because the first, say the feeling of closeness is there. Because of this feeling of closeness, it automatically builds a divine kind of perception with regard to that person. So for example, I'll give one example. When I was like age 12 years ago, 13 years ago, all the classmates, they were running. Oh, Richard Gere, not Richard Gere, Richard Gere. Richard Gere, everybody's running. You know Richard Gere? Huh? The actor, yes, right? He was at the peak of his career, peak, and he visited our school, TC school, which is about like 2 hours from here. No, 2.5 hours from here. All the young boys and girls, age 14, 15, they're all rushing. Richard Gere. I thought, what is Richard Gere? I was totally innocent. I had no clue what it was. And then they were running, I also ran. Right? Ran to see what's that like. And I asked, what's Richard Gere? Right? He's a very famous Hollywood actor. Then I thought, it must be something so special. Right? And finally, I saw him walking uphill. What is this? He was just a man. My father is more handsome than him. Of course. My father is much more handsome than him. Why making a fuss of this? Richard Gere. What is this? And then after 3 or 4 years, when I was sitting with my aunt was just sharing about my family, and said that your dad has 7 siblings, including himself, 7 siblings. That I know already. And she said, of the 7 siblings, your dad is the ugliest. That's what she said. And in my eyes, I could see him as more handsome than Richard Gere, right? But the reality is that he was so ugly. Ugliest in the family. Yeah, so this is how our mind exaggerates the quality of the person. This is how our mind exaggerates the quality of the person. Good quality or bad quality? Both ways, exaggeration happens. You're getting it? Yes.
The moment where she got hurt again into some past memory 2 years or 20 years ago. Can I say, is it right to say that memory could be self-grasping ignorance because we see because the memory is still that the object that it's coming from is not real? Why I'm saying it started because it's in the past. So is it right to say that it's not real in this moment?
Okay, what would you say? This is a good question. What would you say? Okay, let's say, do you remember your childhood? Childhood, meaning when you were a teenage? You remember that? Is that a valid memory or distorted memory? It's valid memory, of course. it is valid memory. You're getting it? Likewise, you remember somebody having hurt you 10 years ago. That is a valid memory. That is not exaggeration of qualities. That is not self-grasping ignorance. But with a memory, self-grasping ignorance can come alone. Whenever you feel the pain, whenever you feel agitation, self-grasping ignorance is very active. You're getting it? Very active there. And how do you know this? Also observe self-grasping ignorance? Wisdom of emptiness. At that moment, when you are at the peak of the agitation, you get a glimpse, you just meditate emptiness, you get a glimpse of this instantly, the physiological boiling. It'll just settle down. Instantly, you will feel so serene. It'll happen. You're getting it? So therefore, the memory per se, there's nothing wrong in it. But say the memory of what? The object, that he hurt me, that he was nasty, she was nasty. That object, how you viewed, the view of the object, that can be exaggerated. Then the memory of that view, you bring it here, and then it can flare your emotions. Yes.
The memory itself is not what disturbs. What disturbs is the feeling. The object is not there, but the memory triggers the feeling of pain.
Very good.
So
Okay. Do you remember what we talked about? The 5 points: contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, intention. So this memory feeds your discrimination. The memory, you come in contact with that memory, contact, then you pay attention to the memory. Yes, that's very true. This is exactly what happened. That is the attention. And then the discrimination. Yes, he actually injured me, hurt me. That memory, discrimination. Then unpleasant feeling comes. That unpleasant feeling, you want unpleasant feeling or not? You don't want it. So you want to run away from this unpleasant feeling. And as long as this memory is there, you cannot run away. So what happens? If somebody who is very unkind grabs you, what happens? What will you do? Hey. And but if the person is very strong, right, grab your 2 hands, right? You cannot slap, right? What will you try to do? Huh? Struggle, yes. When you struggle, can you struggle for 2 hours? No, so much energy will be consumed. You're getting it? That is the disturbance. It's a mental struggle is happening to get away from this unpleasant feeling. There's intention to run away. Intention to run away from this unpleasant feeling. So this intention is a struggle to run away. You cannot run away because this memory is constantly hitting you and you are welcoming the memory, right? Oh yes, he did it. Yes, he did it. You are welcoming the memory. As long as memory is there, as long as the petrol is put, fire continue to be there, right? So your anger continues to flare because you have the unpleasant feeling. Unpleasant feeling. This unpleasant feeling, you don't want it. So you want to run away from this unpleasant feeling, but as long as the fuel is happening, unpleasant feeling continue to be there. So what do you do? It's like resisting. Mentally you're resisting it. This resistance is known as the mental agitation. And if you think the reason is very serious, then the resistance is very intense. This is anxietic. If this memory is constant, then this resistance will be prolonged. That is depression. Stress, intense version of stress is anxiety. And the prolonged version of stress is depression. So this is how you go into problems. Okay. So with this, going back to the main point is, okay. So from this, what we said is that the things exist. Say the flower exists objectively or subjectively. It exists subjectively. It does not exist object. From the object is empty. How do you know that? How do you know the flower does not exist objectively? How do you know that? By what? Ultimate analysis, cut it. Hey, Ikshita, you said what? What? Not exposed to ultimate analysis?
No, as in we know that this is a subjective phenomena because of by analyzing it through ultimate analysis.
So you have to make it very clear. Don't just ultimate analysis. It doesn't mean anything. You have to say that with the help of ultimate analysis, we'll come to realize that it is empty of objective existence. You got the correct answer. Only this, we need to articulate things. You're getting it? Economy of words doesn't mean that you just give one word, the answer is done. No. Less words, but the meaning must be conveyed. You're getting it? Okay. So, how do we know that the flower doesn't exist objectively? We know this through exposing the flower to ultimate analysis. You're getting it? Okay. So what we said is that which means that this flower can be seen through ultimate analysis as well as through conventional analysis. So now look, this is very important. The same flower, when you look at through conventional analysis, what do you see? You see flower. So what is seen by the conventional analysis is known as conventional truth. Let's not forget it. What is seen by conventional analysis is known as conventional truth. And what is seen by ultimate analysis is known as ultimate truth. So, looking through your naked eyes, what do you see? Flower. So, what is the flower? Which are the two truths? Conventional truth. Looking through electron microscope, what do you see? What do you see? No flower. You're getting it? No flower. No flower is no flower in the eyes of the conventional analysis. This is what you have to qualify. No flower in the eyes of ultimate analysis, or no flower objectively. No objective flower, that is the ultimate truth. You're getting it? Okay. Now, on the, we were talking about, yesterday we were talking about what is seen more closely. What is seen of the two minds, ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. Of the two, ultimate analysis is the one which sees the object more closely. Right? So that mind is known as ultimate analysis. Ultimate means something, something from the object. So objective, ultimately, and these all mean the same. You're getting it? Okay. So same object can be seen. The same object has two truths. Same object has two truths. One is the conventional truth, seen by conventional analysis. And the same object is seen very differently. There's also another truth of the same object. What is that? Absence of objective flower. Emptiness of objective flower. That is seen by the ultimate analysis. You're getting it? So that is the ultimate truth of the same object. In other words, every phenomena has two truths. Every phenomena has two truths. You're getting it? Okay. It's because of this that emptiness of the flower, does it have two truths? Emptiness of the flower. Is the ultimate truth conventional truth? It's the ultimate truth. Does it have two truths? Oh, what's the conventional truth of that? No. Emptiness of flower. Emptiness of flower, does it have a conventional truth?
Yes.
Huh? Pinzola is saying yes, and the Indrajit is saying no. Okay, how many of you say that emptiness of flower with the ultimate truth, it does not have two truths? Raise hands. Or emptiness of flower is the ultimate truth. It also has two truths. Raise hands. Okay, what are the two truths of the emptiness of flower? Anyone?
Again, going deeper into, then we'll see another conventional truth.
Which one?
Atoms,
No. Emptiness of flower. Now we are not looking at the atoms. We're looking at just emptiness of flower. Emptiness of flower. Emptiness of flower. On that, how can you see two truths? Inherent existence of the emptiness of flower doesn't exist. Conventional truth should be existent. Right? It should be truth. Truth means existent. It should be true. It should be existent. No inherent existence exists. Yes. Yeah. Flower. That's 100% correct. 100% correct. But my question is, emptiness of the flower, how can you say that emptiness of flower is the object? It has two truths. Just as the flower has two truths, the flower, see in the eyes of the conventional analysis, you see the flower, that is conventional truth. The flower, this object, seen in the eyes of the ultimate analysis, you see the emptiness of the flower, that is the ultimate truth of this flower, right? Likewise, now instead of the flower, I pick up the emptiness of the flower as the object. Emptiness of the flower as the object, how does it have the two truths? Anyone?
Emptiness is not nothing.
Yes, that's true, it's not nothing. Then, how does it have two truths? This is my question. Yes, Matthew?
So Geshe, you said that so we're not looking at the dimensional truth of emptiness. There's no key in the right hand. Here there's no key in the left hand. Right? So there's the emptiness of
No, the question is the emptiness of flower as the object, how does it have two truths?
So is that one truth mental invitation? Is that emptiness of this non-existence of an objective self also a mental invitation? Is that what you're getting at?
If I need to say this, that emptiness of the flower, that ultimate truth also has two truths, that I have to negate this also, which is emptiness of because that is my object.
Emptiness of object is the object. What are we going to negate?
Emptiness.
Emptiness to negate. To negate emptiness, then you will get the inherent objective existence.
That's what I'm saying.
Then
That means emptiness is the ultimate.
emptiness is ultimate truth, yes, of course. But what we said is that everything has two truths, including emptiness, including ultimate truth, it has two truths.
That exists and at the same time is empty of
Yes, you are getting somewhere, you need articulation. You're getting somewhere, you need articulation. I don't want Tejala to raise hand. I know she has the answer. Okay. Tal?
also the emptiness of the object from objective reality. It was seen by subjective.
So tell me, emptiness of the flower is the object. What is the conventional truth of that? What is the ultimate truth of that? It has two truths, right? What's the conventional truth of the emptiness of the flower? What is the conventional truth of the emptiness of flower? We're not talking about the flower. I'm not asking what is the conventional truth of the flower. Conventional truth of the flower is the flower. What's the ultimate truth of the flower? Emptiness of the objective existence of the flower is the ultimate truth of the flower. That is done. Now we have shifted our object from the flower to the emptiness of the flower. Emptiness of the flower is the object. It has also two truths. What is the conventional truth of the emptiness of the flower? This is my question. Yes, Kabir?
I'm just wondering in this case what is the object of negation? The object of negation to me seems to be the object of negation would be the inherent existence or objective existence of the emptiness of the life.
Very good. Very good.
I would say that at an objective, at a conventional level, the emptiness, the emptiness of the flower exists, but at an ultimate level, the emptiness of the objective existence of the flower doesn't exist.
Okay, so I don't know whether you are following what you are saying also, but what you said is something very profound, very good. Okay, the gentleman over there, saying, oh, no, I don't trust. Say it again.
So emptiness, when you say emptiness of the flower, so there is permission there because the flower is there in that phrase, emptiness of flower, and that is the conventional understanding of emptiness of flower. And the more ultimate one, as we said in a more articulated manner, would be when it's just emptiness and not emptiness of flower.
Okay, the first part is very good. Second part is okay. Anyone else? Okay. The question is,
What would you like to know?
when we take the flower as the object, what are the two truths? What is said is every phenomena has two truths. The flower, this object flower, it has two truths. Conventional truth and ultimate truth. What's the conventional truth of the flower? The flower. Because conventional truth is how this object is seen by a conventional analysis. When the conventional analysis looks at it, it sees the flower, right? And what's the ultimate truth of this flower? Emptiness of the flower is the ultimate truth of the flower. Why? Because the ultimate analysis, which analyzes the flower, sees that there's no objective flower. Emptiness of the flower is found by the ultimate analysis. So emptiness of the flower is the ultimate truth of the flower. So flower has two truths. Fine. Done. Now we shift the object from the flower to emptiness of the flower. Okay. Emptiness of the flower is the object. Emptiness of the flower is the object. What are the two truths? You getting it? Getting it? Yes, yes. Vijay?
So, as Kabir said, emptiness of flower is an object of negation. So the convention
It's not object of negation. Emptiness of flower is to be established. It's not object of negation.
if you already have the emptiness of flower,
Yes.
so now that's the conventional truth.
Okay. Emptiness of flower is the conventional truth, and
And then we apply the four essentials of emptiness.
yes.
Arrive that emptiness, emptiness of the emptiness of the flower. So that emptiness is empty.
Okay, that's very good. Really very good. Okay, the girl there, Ishita, Ipshita.
Just arrangement of these words. That is conventional truth being emptiness of the flower, and ultimate truth being emptiness of the flower may not have an objective meaning.
That's also correct. Correct. Okay. So let's not forget what the Vijay said and what Ipshita said. Okay, let me give you a simple example. How many of you have put your bags in the X-ray machine? Presents? Where in the aeroplane, the flight, at the airport, the train station, or wherever, or the hotel, put in the X-ray machine. Presents? Okay. Let's say that there are two X-ray machines. One is the X-ray machine of conventional analysis, and the other one is the X-ray machine of ultimate analysis. Right? If you put this flower in the X-ray machine of the conventional analysis, hey, if I put this flower in the X-ray machine of conventional analysis, so there's a machine there, you put it from here, then something comes out. Right? What comes out? Flower comes out. So here I put the flower in the X-ray machine of the ultimate analysis, and what comes out? Emptiness of the flower comes out. Flower doesn't come out. You're getting it? Okay, now we put the emptiness of the flower in the conventional analysis, X-ray of the conventional analysis. What comes out? Yes. Right. So now put it in the ultimate analysis. So what comes out? Yes, emptiness of the flower comes out. You're getting it? So what comes out from the ultimate analysis? That's your conventional truth. And what comes out from the ultimate analysis? That is the ultimate truth. So, emptiness of flower is the object. What is the conventional truth of this? Emptiness of flower. That's the conventional truth because it comes out of the X-ray of the conventional analysis. Yes.
Won't we have to say objectively existent emptiness of flower?
So the thing is, emptiness of the emptiness of the flower. You're getting it? Which means it's a short form of emptiness of objective existence of the emptiness of the existence of the flower.
Which is the flower.
Huh? No. No, 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 no. No, no, no.
I have a question. How to make sure that our discussion is not moving to direction of semantics?
No, that's not true. Okay.
Because emptiness cannot be an object, because it's an emptiness of the flower means that it's not separate existence. So we have to perceive everything which is related as an object, which is not happening as an object of perception, it's just a concept.
Okay.
Not that emptiness
Object.
is an object.
Okay, let's say object has many connotations. Object, So, okay, how many objects you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is minimum one. This is one level of understanding of object. This is very gross understanding. So, for example, say,
Object of perception.
okay, listen, object. We are talking about the object. What I said? Object. Emptiness is object. Let's say that, I'm thinking of something. Whatever I'm thinking of something, that becomes the object of this mind. Object, subject, these two are mutually dependent. You getting it? So, you think about emptiness, emptiness becomes your object. It doesn't mean the emptiness is the tangible object. This is not a connotation. So, we should be very flexible in understanding the meaning of these words. So, object has many connotations. Good? Yes. Emptiness of flower. The same thing we've done with the emptiness of flower also. Okay, so for the flower, we go into the atoms. For the emptiness of flower, we cannot go into atoms. Very good. Okay, this is a serious question. How would you address it? So with the flower, how do you see the emptiness of flower? By going to the atoms. But for the emptiness of flower, you cannot go into atoms. Emptiness of flower is not made of atoms, right? So how do you find the emptiness of the flower? How?
So is it not the same thing where we are rejecting the objective existence of emptiness of the flower?
Yes, how do we reject it? This is her question. Reject the objectiveness of the flower is done through going to atoms. But rejecting the objective existence of the emptiness of the flower, how do you do that? We cannot do that on the basis of the atoms.
It is still a confusion in my mind.
Mm.
How we are finding the objective negation.
Object negation, objective existence of the emptiness of the flower is the object negation of the emptiness of the flower. Objective existence of the emptiness of the flower is the object negation of the emptiness of the flower.
In my mind, I'm creating another mental object, which is the emptiness. So I want to negate that concept also.
And don't negate the emptiness, negate the objective existence of the emptiness. Good.
We're saying that conventionally it is projection. We're still seeing the emptiness of the object as the projection of your subjective projection.
Yes.
Subjectivity.
Yes.
Whereas
Even the emptiness is also subjective. Yes.
the emptiness is subjective, looking at subjective.
Emptiness of the emptiness of the flower is also subjective. Everything is subjective.
So unless until, just trying to understand. So unless and until I'm not understanding that establishing myself in that it's all a subjective reality. And
Yes.
I'm establishing myself as ultimate truth. So I'm again putting in the loop mental connotations.
How?
In the loop only breaking.
How loop?
Suppose I say emptiness of the emptiness, emptiness of the emptiness, I can go on and on and on.
Go on and on. So what's the problem?
So I'm creating my finite things in my mind.
So what's the problem? Let's say, for example, say the space. Is it true or not that you see the space and then you go away from the planet Earth, the space, go away from the solar system, space? When will that stop? It's infinite. Is it an infinite loop? Are you in a loop? This is not loop. This is reality. Loop has a connotation that is not true. You are trapped in this self-deception, right? Whereas infinity, there are some things are infinite. What is infinite? To know infinite is infinite, there's no problem. So, for example, say my hand is made of cells. Cells are made of molecules. Molecules are made of atoms. Atoms are made of electrons. go like this, as of now, physics could not identify smaller than the quarks. But actually, if you go like this, matter could go ad infinitum, right? And this is reality. So, what is not infinite, if you have to accept that to be infinite, this is known as infinite regress. That is a problem. Whereas, if it is infinite, you see the infinite is infinite, this is your wisdom. What is not infinite as seen as infinite, this is known as infinite regress. This is the distortion, misconception. Lupsala.
Since last time we did before this is the one that slightly lost.
Okay.
Analyzing the ultimate into the ultimate.
Yes.
So that means every ultimate is not ultimate because there is
That's interesting. So the ultimate, there's another ultimate there. So it's not ultimate. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, let's not forget it. All of us, let's not forget it. This is a very interesting question, right? So emptiness of flower is not ultimate. There's another ultimate there, right? Huh?
He also said that we are afraid of being found.
That's amazing. Very good. Yeah. Okay, yes. If there's a mic. Ramanujan.
Okay, this Ramanujan is a famous mathematician who
Indian
said
mathematician.
Indian mathematician.
World-renowned mathematician, yes.
Yes, he is the one who worked on infinities, and he said that our problem is that we are afraid of infinities, and then he provided the solution by making some assumptions. But again, these infinities are our mind is really not able to grasp or afraid of.
True. Good. Tal's question. What is Tal's question?
No.
Huh?
Tarak's question.
Like the ultimate of the emptiness of the flower. How do we examine it?
Okay, this is a very good question.
I've been trying for
Yes.
very hard. So first was the negation of the physical existence. That was emptiness of the flower.
Yes.
And the second was the negation of the conceptual existence,
Very good. Yes.
which is the emptiness of flower.
So how do you establish it?
The negation of the concept,
How do you negate it?
because it's a concept that is yes, the one that he's saying.
What did he say?
Yeah, what are you saying? Say it again.
The object becomes the subject. You can take the subject and just treat it as an object.
Say it again, say it louder.
So for a particular object, you notice the subject and then treat it as an object, and then you keep repeating the same.
Okay, so let's say that the flower as an object, then we found the emptiness of the flower. Emptiness of the flower is not the subject. So what you're saying is, say object found by the subject, make the subject again the next object to the next subject. This is what I'm saying? But here this is not the case. Because we found the emptiness of the flower as the object, we found the emptiness of the flower, which is the ultimate truth of the flower. So we are not subjecting the mind which sees the flower, we are subjecting the emptiness of the flower as the object. So how do you see the emptiness of the flower?
Our understanding of the emptiness of the flower, we treat that as an object.
Yes, of course, that is the object. Then how do you see that as to be empty of object existence? Okay, this is a very serious question. Okay, last, Rahul.
You see the emptiness of the object as the object.
Okay, Mike. Yes, Mike.
To see, to answer Tal's question, and Yar also brought, to see the emptiness of the flower as the object, and how do you analyze it? That's the question. Do you look at the three levels of dependent origination where you see, you cannot break it down as a whole of its parts, but you can look at the mere mental imputation of the emptiness of the flower as an object?
Okay, that's interesting. So being very articulate. So saying that the three levels of dependent origination is there, and you have to understand the dependent origination in the context of the emptiness of the flower. So emptiness of the flower, because it is not, it's going to be a little technically complicated. Emptiness of flower is not impermanent phenomena. So in the dependent origination causation is not applicable. It's not applicable. But Rahul said that even the second one is not applicable. That's not true. Whole and past is applicable to all phenomena. Of the three levels of dependent origination, number one is applicable only to the impermanent phenomena. Number two and three are applicable to all phenomena. Let's not forget it. And I'm glad that you are bringing what you learned before. This is so precious. Okay, I know that you are a little impatient. How can we establish the emptiness of the flower? Right? Ayal?
Yeah, I didn't get the answer.
Yes, so this is what you want to know. Say yes, then I will say.
Yes.
Oh, if you say, did you get the answer, then I will not give the answer. Yes, say yes, sir. This is what I want to know. Right? And this girl, Tal. Okay, so this is the one thing is how Rahul said, apply the two levels of dependent origination. Number two, what is number two? So you have to do your own job. You're getting it? If you ask me a question, before you ask me to give the answer, you have to do your homework. You have to remember what are the three levels of dependent origin. What are the three levels of dependent origin? What is the first one? Say it again. Number one. Number two. Number three. How many said it correctly without looking at the notes? How many said it without looking at the notes? Okay, these are things that we have to have on our fingertips. So with this, what happens? This is what amazed me so much. I thought that in the laptop, there's no Tibetan font, Tibetan script. There's no Tibetan font. And if I have to put it, then again it has to be compatible with all the other things, like the Word, MS Word, and all these things. How does it adjust itself? It is designed in such a way that you put the proper font, it operates automatically. For this, we need to have all the systems intact. Likewise, to really understand emptiness, all these systems within you, three levels of dependent origination, the four essentials, they all must be with you. Without these things, then expecting to go into deeper, without the scaffolding, you go higher, what happens? Fall. You're getting it? So therefore, do your homework. This is so important. But I'm too ambitious if I expect you to have everything by now, what you covered the last 2 days. But there's no exception. This is no excuse. You have to try your best to make things work. But I know that you do not get time. We have the 3 classes plus 2 group discussions, 1 optional group discussion, the morning practice, and so forth. And I know that you are tired. And these topics, usually when I teach this, I tell people not to, go around, not to, play football, basketball, and so forth. Keep well rested, because your mind needs total rest, and your physically you should be well rested when you go into these topics. I know that you are tired. So we need to work on, how to establish the emptiness of the flower. That is done in many ways. One is applying of the 3 levels of dependent origination. You apply number 2 and number 3, particularly number 3. Number 2 is like this stepping stone to the number 3. So you apply this and you get emptiness. This is one. Number 2 is that even the emptiness of the flower as the object, your mind is seeing this emptiness of the flower makes sense as an object only with respect to the subject which sees it. And this subject to the mind which sees the emptiness of the flower makes sense only with respect to the emptiness of the flower as the object. In other words, they are mutually dependent. independent of this subject, it makes no sense. It is empty. You getting it? Even the emptiness of the flower. Emptiness of flower is empty, independent of the mind seeing that. You getting it? There's a mutuality of dependency. There's nothing 100% from the object. You getting it? Okay. So in this, yes.
You can arrive at it by both treating the recognition of the emptiness in the mind as empty, and, which is in the mind, and also
Yes, with the mic.
so there are two parts to it, right? When I'm recognizing the emptiness, one is the understanding of the emptiness, and if I break it down, it has
Okay,
to do
let us
with
work. Let us not confuse the people. Let's say emptiness of flower.
the emptiness of the flower.
Yes.
So when I just say the phrase emptiness of the flower, or even think about it, so its existence in my head as a thought, one thing is that I can break upon to reach further emptiness of the emptiness of.
How do you do that? The thought or the object?
I think we can do it with both.
No, thought is a mind. Mind is not the emptiness. Emptiness is always non-mind. Okay, there are many backgrounds required. Emptiness always the permanent phenomena. It's non-composite phenomena. And mind is always a composite phenomena. So when you say thought, emptiness in thought, that is not emptiness. The flower in thought is not flower. Okay.
So which means that I examine the thought further, right?
Now, if you examine your thought, you're examining not emptiness, you're examining the mind. Thought is a part of the mind, you examine the mind. Mind is a composite phenomenon. It is not emptiness. Emptiness is always a non-composite phenomenon.
But how can you examine the emptiness of a flower
This is the same question.
without a thought?
No, this is the same question which two of them are asking. You're getting it? So this is where I gave two answers. You remember? What's your name? Huh? Jaidev. Jaidev, did you remember the two answers that I gave? How do you do it?
One is with the three methods of origination.
How? So what I said, of the three levels of dependent origination, learn how to apply the number 2 level and the number 3 with the emptiness of the flower. This is one thing I said. What is number 2?
And so
what's number 2? Okay.
We break it into parts further.
No, not dependent origination. I said 2 answers. What's the second answer? So this is where we need to pay attention. If you don't listen to these things, again you will ask the same question, which I did to my teacher also. You're getting it? One time I was asking lots of questions to my teacher, a brilliant philosopher and logician. And it was when I was in my 20s. I used to ask lots of questions and he would give me a lot of detailed answers. Right? And he thought that this young boy, he's getting everything. He was so happy. After 3 years, I asked one question. He was so upset. That was the time he really felt upset. He said that, what? You asked the same question 3 years ago. Which means I did not get the answer that he gave me 3 years ago, and I'm asking the same question. So in your case, it's not 3 years ago, it's 3 seconds ago. 3 seconds ago, I already gave the answer, you did not listen to it. She's not listening, right? She's raising her hands like this. Yes, tell me.
There's one analogy in my head that I need to
Yes.
So, is it right for me to say that if I go closer to the object right now, which is emptiness of the flower, I'll see more emptiness. It's like I have identified an empty building and I'm getting inside the building to see it's empty.
Yes. Then?
So that's how I established the emptiness of the emptiness.
You do not establish emptiness. You see the building is empty. It is not emptiness, emptiness of flower.
I'm outside the building, but I've established that the building is empty. But
Yes.
now that empty building is the object.
Yes.
So now I go closer to the object, when I get inside the building, to find that it's more empty. Like it's empty.
Okay, that's example, right? This example. This analogy, right? So analogy, don't be serious, don't be complacent with the analogy, right? Sometimes analogy can drag you and then fool you, right? Analogy, whatever analogy that you have, take it and then find it must be applied to the main discussion, main concept. The main concept must be clarified through the analogy. Analogy per se is not the final answer. Okay, good. Subro.
Can true emptiness be intellectualized? Because as long as we are intellectualizing it, there is an object to intellectualize it.
Can emptiness be
true emptiness
true
be
emptiness or
intellectualized?
emptiness be intellectualized?
Yeah,
So if I say no, what's the problem?
no problem. I'm just asking. Because we are talking a lot about emptiness.
Which means we're intellectualizing. Yes,
Yeah.
it can be intellectualized. So what's the problem?
No problem. But I was.
Because we are intellectualizing, so.
But can we intellectuals really like the actual emptiness? Like we can.
Okay, so the best thing I would say is that, for example, like what Subro is asking, can we intellectual the real emptiness? Real emptiness is not something that you have to experience, right? We talk. It's all intellectualizing the emptiness. Does it really help? This question. So for these, don't be carried away by these talks. Which talk? Subro's talk or our talk? Don't be carried away by the talk such as what Subro said. Many people can dissuade you from analyzing emptiness by saying that emptiness is to be experienced, not to be talked. You're talking, and never experience emptiness. This is not true. You have to talk first. You have to talk. You have to discuss. And then, say for example, this text written by the master of emptiness, Nagarjuna, right? He talked, all these are talks. All there's 73 verses there. These are all very profound talks, right? And you go into this talk, it can take you like years and years. These are all talks. So these talks will affect your mind and make your mind go deeper, meaning more closely into what objectively is there. And then you realize objectively there's nothing there. This is how we get to the ultimate analysis. You're getting it? Don't be swayed. So what the Supro said is very good, but why I'm saying very good is because he's very young, and he is coming up with good questions. Otherwise, don't be swayed. If anybody, you're bound to meet with many people who say, "What is this?" It's not the flower is not one with the parts, not different one. What is this? It's so simple. Table is not one with the. Many people are there to dissuade you from studying emptiness. This is in a way like this is severing your path to enlightenment. You're getting it? So we have to talk. What is talking? Talking is the wisdom derived through learning. What is the talking on emptiness? Is the wisdom derived through learning. So this will take us to wisdom derived through reflection. What you taught, take them in your room. Don't just keep talking all the time. Talk, make yourself rich in the talk, then bring it home, and then just bring all these items that you have, taken in the talk, group discussion, classes, take them on the table, and then try to fix them, right? In other words, contemplate what you've studied, the four essentials, right? So you just go through the 3 levels of dependent origination. Dependent origination, emptiness, they mean the same. So how? 5 points, 3 points, therefore emptiness in the middle way. Just try to contemplate on all these things. Then you get a conviction that what I'm seeing is purely subjective. There's nothing from the object. Conviction will come to you. This is the wisdom derived through reflection. Then you get a conviction that if I meditate on this, my emotion, just by a glimpse of emptiness, instantly your agitation subsides. Instantly you could feel that the mental disturbance subsides. Extremely peaceful, which we never experienced before. When you get that confidence, no, you don't need anybody else to tell you. It's going to be self-operational to meditate on this. to gain conviction that if this is what I do, all my agitating emotions, destructive emotions will come to an end. This is the only way. Wisdom draw through meditation, to be given rise to by the wisdom draw through reflection, to be given rise to by wisdom draw through learning. What is this wisdom draw through learning? All the intellectualizing of the emptiness. This is wisdom draw through learning. So precious. This is the only way. If you don't believe, all the great masters of Sakya, Kaiku, Nyingma, Gilu, the real great masters, look at the legacies. Look at the legacies of the books. They all talk very profoundly about emptiness. They have studied extensively. You're getting it? It's so precious. Okay, Zalina. Mike?
You mentioned that emptiness of flower is non-composite?
Yes.
And also that we can apply the second level of dependent origination?
Yes.
The whole's dependence on path. So is that not
Yes.
contradictory?
Okay. This is a good question. Anybody who followed what Zalina asked? Huh? Raise hands, those who followed what the question asked by Zalina? Okay. Yes, Rahul? What did Zalina say? This is a very good question.
Well, I'll repeat her question from what I understood. She said that you said that the emptiness of a flower is non-composite, but you can establish its emptiness to the second level of dependent origination, which is the dependent origination of the whole dependent on its parts. So how can a non-composite thing...
Is this a question, Zalina? Perfect. Very good. Did you all follow the question? How many followed the question with hands? Very good. Okay, this is a very good question. So, Ajirji, how many more days we have? Okay, now what is composite, what is not composite, Then the next one is how and the second level of dependent origin is applicable to non-composite phenomena, right? So these two questions, what should we do, Ajirji? Do we have any other 2 days extra? Okay, very good question. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll do because I'm sure that many of you are very impatient. What happened to the text? Right? Third, look, he's the one. He's the one actually, right? Okay, some of you are very impatient. When is this text going to be started? Already 30 finished, right? So what we do is that I have a few more points to discuss, and then we'll discuss it. We will start the text. Then in between, Zalina, you must bring this question. What is that question? How is the second level of dependent origination applicable to the non-composite phenomena? For this, we need to know what is composite, what is non-composite. You have to know that. You're getting it? Without knowing this, okay, how many know this? Raise hands. Raise hands. What is composite, non-composite? Right? Yes, what is compounded, what is uncompounded? What is composite, what is non-composite? Same. How many know that? Raise hands. Sunamla, Tejala, Ravila, Anula. Okay, raise hands. Dr. Nilza. Okay, not clear. Okay, Losala. Yes. Okay. Kate. Yes. Omarla. Yes, of course. Churala. And the CJ. Yes. Ajirji, of course. Okay. So this is something we what do you want to do? In a group discussion, what do you do? Composite, non-composite? Okay.
His answer meant not in the group discussions, to do it with you, to discuss. Correct? Yes.
Okay. Okay, the best thing would be let's say that in the group discussion, what you do it, but I'll surely touch it. I promise to touch it either tomorrow afternoon or day after tomorrow. All right? So, but Zalina, you have to remind me. Good. Okay, now there are few important things that I thought that I could do the text today, but yeah, we are doing well. Yeah. Okay. The next thing, which is very important, is that do you get some sense that flower is just, flower? What is flower? It's just how it appears to my mind. Atoms, they're not flower, but something comes to my mind, it appears to my mind. That is just a flower. Flower is just what comes to my mind, what appears to my mind. That's it. Beyond this, from Dorji, there's no flower. Do you get some sense? Resonance. If you get some sense, may not be too clear, it doesn't matter. Okay. Which means that if your mind, which perceives the flower, if it is not there, then this object as a flower makes no sense. Does it make some sense to you? Resonance. Very good. Which means that it is like your mind. How many of you have watched a movie in a movie theater? Resonance. All of us. So you are watching a movie here, and where's the movie coming from? Jean, where's the movie coming from? From the projector. Where's the projector? Behind you. You're getting it? So if something goes wrong with the projector stops for a few seconds, what happens to the movie? Movie stops. You're getting it? Okay, likewise, our mind is the projector, right? Flower, cheesecake, bad weather, good weather, right? All these things projected. Just as a flower is just what comes to your mind, right? Everything that comes to your mind 24/7, they're all projected by your mind. And this projector, in a way, it is the best of the projector, but in a way, this is the unlucky that we have this projector. This projector is the one which projects things 24/7. It never stops. 24/7, it projects, and it never gets tired, right? And because of this, it makes us tired. Right? Many of us feel, I feel tired. I cannot go to morning practice. I'm very tired. Right? What makes us tired? This projector makes us tired. Right? This projector tirelessly works to make us tired. Right? In samsara. All these problems in samsara. Right? Conflict, family conflicts. The national conflict, international conflict, and then your health issues. Everything's just projected by your mind. We're unaware that we're projecting it. This is samsara. Where you project it, you're unaware that you're projecting it. This is samsara. Okay, we'll go more on this. With this, what we know, what we need to learn is that okay. So the flower, what we learned is flower exists subjectively, objectively. Subjectively, we need to know the counterforce. The flower exists subjectively as opposed to objectively. So we're going to learn the opposites. The flower exists subjectively as opposed to the objectively. The flower exists conventionally as opposed to ultimately. The flower exists dependently as opposed to independently. The flower exists deceptively as opposed to truly. Oh, let us learn these four opposites. You getting it? What are they? Number one, flower exists conventionally as opposed to ultimately. The flower exists subjectively as opposed to objectively. The flower exists dependently as opposed to independently. The flower exists deceptively as opposed to truly. You're getting it? Okay. So these four things we need to learn. And in this connection, what we said is that, in other words, from these four things that we've learned, conventionally, flower exists conventionally. What are the synonyms? There should be four synonyms. There are many more synonyms from what we have. Four pairs? Four pairs. From the four pairs, what are the synonyms for conventionally? Conventionally, subjectively, truly, Dependently, you're getting. So some people translate the conventionally as relatively. Relatively is also a very good terminology, but so you include this also. It's also fine. Absolutely as opposed to relatively, or relatively as opposed to absolutely. We can add one more. That's very good. You're getting it? What are the okay? Now everyone should have on your fingertips. Everyone should have these on the fingertips. Tell me, what's the first one? Conventionally as opposed to ultimately. What's the second? Subjectively as opposed to objectively. Number 3. Dependently as opposed to independently. Then deceptively as opposed to truly. And then relatively as opposed to absolutely. You're getting it? Okay. Good. So what we say is that everything exists conventionally. Nothing exists. Hey, what's the opposite of conventionally? Everything exists conventionally. Nothing exists ultimately. Okay. My question to you. Are you happy to say that everything exists conventionally? Are you happy to say that?
Yes.
I'm not asking whether you have realized it. My question is, are you happy to say everything exists conventionally? Yes. Which means, do you mean to say that nothing exists ultimately? Louder. Okay. Don't lessen your volume. You're getting it? My question, I'm going to ask a question, and don't lessen your volume. What is that? Reduce your volume. Right? Okay. Nothing exists ultimately? Yes, no. Louder. Okay, let me see. Nothing exists ultimately. Everything exists conventionally, no? Everything is conventionally, yes? Yes. Louder. Yes. Nothing is ultimately. Yes. Louder. Yes. Only few yeses are there. All of us. Nothing is ultimately. Yes. Good. Okay. Emptiness of a flower. Is this ultimate or conventional? Ultimate truth. That's ultimate. Does it exist ultimately or conventionally? Huh? Ultimate does not exist ultimately. No, ultimate does it exist ultimately or conventionally? Ultimate does it exist? Ultimate reality. This are the emptiness of the flower. It is ultimate. Huh? Of course, it's ultimate. It's the ultimate truth is ultimate. You're getting it? Ultimate truth is ultimate. Ultimate truth is ultimate. So how can it be exist conventionally, not as ultimately? Huh? Okay. So what we need to learn, it can be a little confusing. Ultimate exists as ultimate. It does not exist as ultimately. Ultimate, they say emptiness of flower exists as ultimate, but it does not exist ultimately. Why? Nothing exists ultimately. But things do exist as ultimate, but nothing exists as ultimately. The difference between ultimate and ultimately, there's a difference there. You're getting it? You're getting it? Good. Okay. Now, okay, good. Pay attention. This is very important. Which means everything exists conventionally. What do you mean by conventionally? Finally, say when we say conventionally, subjectively, what else? Dependently, deceptively, relatively, we should get a feeling that everything exists relatively, everything exists dependently, deceptively, subjectively, and conventionally. How? Not just remembering what I said 10 years ago. That should become your knowledge. It should not be a borrowed knowledge eventually. It should be your knowledge eventually. You getting it? So let's say, what makes you think that this exists, the flower exists conventionally? Tell me. Anyone? Raviji? Why? If you can see that it exists conventionally, why? It must have a connotation. Okay. Is there anybody who likes to explain to us what is meant by convention? Give me an example or anything. Just tell me what is, you must have been using this word conventionally in your life. So what do you understand by raise hand? Yes, Matthew? Colloquially, Supro?
Can talk in day-to-day life.
Okay, what is day-to-day life in the conventional world? Kabir? Huh? Just applying a label. And then Ipshita?
Dependent on perception, subjective perception.
Why subjective perception known as convention? Why? Okay, Tejala. This is very important. You're getting it? Tejala.
Something which has been decided by a group of people.
Can you give me an example?
So, for example, which side of the road you drive in changes depending on which country you might be in. So, it's a convention that in some countries you drive on one side of the road. So, it's a group of people who decided that that's the rule or the law or the way to do it.
Okay. Yes.
Convention can also be defined as something that serves a function that is used by more than one person.
As a function used by more than one person. Okay, Tal. Two fingers up. Victory, peace. This is just pure convention. Anybody else? Convention? No, what do you mean by that? No, what do you mean by that? How come? I'm real Geshe. No, if you don't believe, I'll show you my certificate. Huh? No, I'm real Geshe. I have a certificate. If you don't believe, I'll certificate. Certificate authentically issued by the office. Lobsangla. Worldly acceptance. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, convention, while there's a specific meaning there, you can get this meaning clear by giving many various aspects. So people are giving their own understanding. This will give you a very good picture of what a convention is. For example, let's say, okay, here.
Something which is agreed upon under certain rules. For example, conventional weapon and unconventional weapon, which is not agreed upon. For example, atomic weapon, chemical weapon. It's outside of the agreement of the convention of which weapons can be used during military conflict. So it has to be agreed upon.
Okay, agreed upon. Agreed upon what Tejala said. Lawfully. Okay, agreed upon. Okay. Standard. Okay. Something which is common. The point is consensus, convention. Cultural. Okay, I will give you, what shook me when I first heard about the convention. One convention. When I was in class, I think class 9, in the physics class, my teacher said that he was teaching us the electricity. Electricity, there are two poles. There are two poles. One is positive, one is negative. I'm so curious. Wow. How can I know what is positive, what is negative? I'm just being very patient, not like you. Not like this. I'm so patient listening what he might have to say. Which is possible, what is, how can I know this? Wire, these two are same wire, but what is one is positive, what's negative? I just want to know. And then finally he concluded by saying that it's just one is positive, one is negative, it's just pure convention. It just shook my basic perception of the world. That there's no something standard there. There's no something fixed there. It's just a pure convention, right? So that was my first experience. I must be 15 or 16. then reality is not as what I think, as so fixed. It's just a pure. There can be something which is pure convention. In this connection, let's say what Tejala said, right? Okay, which lane is correct when you drive a car? Right lane or left lane? CJ, which is correct? Left is correct. Left. Okay, the Michelle, right? Rachel, which is correct? Which lane is correct? Right. You're from Ireland. So which lane is correct? Left is correct. Spain? Left or right? Right. Okay. Not too sure. Okay. So in America, it is okay. Let's say that that the road will not tell you when you drive on the right in India. When you drive on the right, is it right or left in India?
That's the convention. Left is official, but everybody goes
Okay. Let's say in India, which is left. So say if you drive on the right, the road will not tell you that you are on the wrong lane. The road will not tell you. Who tells you? Other cars will tell you. Okay. Road signs. Okay. The road sign. Okay, so it's the road sign tells you which is the wrong, which is right, which is correct, which is not correct, right? So most of the people may be driving on most of the people who are driving towards you, they might be driving on the right. And you also drive on the right? Or you may be driving on the left. Most people may be driving on the right with respect to you, opposite coming to you. So who's correct? I know. Okay, so the road doesn't tell you. What tells you? These signs. The sign will not tell you. Right? Even the sign is just a drawing, right? Drawing will not tell you anything, right? So how do you know that the left lane is the right one? Okay, so then the Omananda is saying that most people drive in the middle, right? And most people that they drive both sides.
So the last second they will change. Then you need to know.
I see that when the police will find you, you will come to know.
Okay, well, the police, how does the police know that this is the right or this is the wrong?
By the law,
There's certain rules there. Where? In India? No, in India, is there a rule or not? Okay, so which means you should drive on the left lane. This is the correct one. Okay, let's say anyone has an idea as to when the first car came in India? Okay, let's say 1912. 1912, the first car came in India. So the car should they drive on the right lane or left? No. Listen. You could not follow what I'm saying. What I'm saying is 1912, let's say. 1912, the first car came to India. So this car should be driven right lane or the left lane? So you can drive both ways. There's no issue, right? There's no issue. Both ways is fine. Then what happens? Gradually, the car number increases. Then the jam happens. Then some people, they complain to the government. There must be something, we have to create some rules. Otherwise, the cars are meant to take us quicker, faster to a place, but it takes us longer. We get stuck in the car, in the traffic. Then the traffic rules are created. You're getting it? So this traffic rule is what? Through the common understanding of the experts. Experts. So this is, the object will not tell you, but the people's mind decide this rule, and then you have to follow this. This is a convention. You're getting it? This is convention. Okay. So likewise, generally speaking, this is not my area. Let's say the the girls, for example, okay, I don't want to touch this area, but then let's say the what is that? The heels. The girls use the high heels, right? High heels. The boys, if they wear it, is not nice. The girls wear it, it's very nice, right? Huh? Of course, the boys, if they wear these high heels, it's not nice, right? Huh? No, not the heel, meaning the solid heel. Very fine heel. Yeah. It is very strange. It's very strange. It's very strange. Yeah. So there are many things. Okay, listen. I don't want to go into all these details. You think of yourself. There are many things which the girls do that's perfectly fine. It's so beautiful. Which the boys do is so weird. Right? Right? Well, they don't let me just say what they are. If you want to think of yourself. There are many things. This is a purely convention, and we are trapped by the convention. Right? And some conventions can be dissolved very easily. Some conventions can last for 10 years. Some conventions last for forever. You're getting it? Forever. Conventions, everything is conventionally real, but the conventions, we fail to see the convention, and then we are bound with convention and we suffer. You're getting it? Okay, let me give an example, then we'll stop here. It's a small children's game. I don't think now the younger ones, they don't get the time to do this small children's game. Play role. Role play? Role play, right? What is role play? Hey, Namsal, tell me what is role play? What is role play? No idea. Okay, this girl. Huh? Exactly. Say, a small children playing the role of a teacher, playing the role of a king, queen, and so forth. You getting it? Huh? Yes, doctors. Okay, we have no time. Now let's say that they are like, I don't know, let's say 60 small children here. Right? 60 small children here. And the 60 small children here. And okay, we're going to have to role play. We're going to do a role play for the next 1 hour. 1 hour, we have a short break. And, okay, let's say that, okay, so we're going to role play of a king, the ministers, right? Who's going to be the king? Raise hand. We're all small children, age 5, age 6. Okay, let's say Kabir. Kabir is going to be the king, right? So Kabir, who like to make the ministers? Don't make the ayal, yal, right? Don't make yal minister. Very naughty. Okay, you have to appoint somebody. CJ is your minister. A minister of what? Tax minister, right? Then, okay, the CJ appoints somebody else as the deputy tax minister. Who is that? I'm not going to say something. Person A. Person A here is a small child A as appointed as the deputy tax minister. So the king said, okay, now our kingdom must be very strong. Is this, they said, okay, let's say this is a role play. We are all small children. Role play. And Kabir, His Highness King Kabir, said that, okay, now this is a kingdom. So we need to have Samrat. We need to have our kingdom should be strong. For that, we can become strong only with help of the tax. Hey, Minister, CJ Minister, you have to collect the tax. Then the Minister CJ asks his deputy, Mr. A. Ipshita. Okay, I mean, Ipshita is not me, right? It's the Omananda said it. So Ipshita is the deputy secretary, deputy tax minister. And then hey, do the job to collect the tax. Our Highness King Kabir said that we have to collect the tax. So what tax do we have? We are all school children, right? We all have our, say, lunch pack. We all have our chocolates, small chocolates with us. And Ipshita says, okay, surrender all your chocolates as a tax. Surrender all your chocolates as a tax. Right? Then the Yael, right? Yael said that, no, this chocolate is mine chocolate. My parents said, you want to give it for me? No. Then all others will say that, no, you have to follow the rule. You have to, you have to be obedient. You have to pay the tax, right? And then somebody says that, then the AL also says that, then I'm going to be the king, right? You are not the king. You are the common citizen. Everybody will fight. Whereas Kabir says, I'm the king, everybody respects. Because this convention created. Now the small children are bound by this convention, right? He says that, hey, right, come do this, you have to do it. If you don't do it, how dare you don't respect our king? Whereas if AL said that come do this, I'm the king, nobody will respect him. You're getting it? Okay. So what happens is that, oh, this is my chocolate, my mother said for me. No, you have to surrender it. This is a tax. Then if he doesn't pay it, he doesn't give it, then all others will jump and they snatch it and give it to Ipshita. Then Ipshita, what she does is that out of the 60 chocolates, she keeps 10 chocolates in her pocket. Gives 10 chocolates in her pocket, the remaining 50 she gives to CJ. Right? And CJ is nice, he gives all the 50 to Kabirji. If she gives 10 in her pocket, right? And CJ will not ask her, right? And they still say this is how the convention it works. Then let's say that Kabir's mother comes. Hey Kabir, it's time for you to have your lunch. Come. Everybody will say, how dare you treat our king as the Kabir, right? So if the mother knows that this is small children's game. You agree with me? If the mother has to come inside the game, if the mother says this small children's game, then don't interrupt the game. Don't come into the game. Stay outside the game. If the mother wants to come into the game, should follow the rule. Your Highness King Kabirji, right? Can I have a word with you? King Kabirji, yes, what do you have to say? Right? Right? So, whereas if you say, Kabir, come, then everybody will say, how dare you don't respect our king? You're getting it? This is rules. So, the point is that what are these the small children? All these small children, and there's a mother who knows that this is a small children's game. But the small children, they become so emotional. If you don't respect Kabir, everybody becomes so emotional, right? And if you say somebody says that if she says that surrender all your chocolates as a tax, you have to surrender. If you don't surrender, you'll be in problem. Even your tiffin maid, you have to surrender your whole tiffin as a punishment, right? Okay, so the point is that, say, the small children who are trapped in this become so emotional, trapped in this convention, and the mother will not become emotional. Although once you go to Kabir, Your Highness King Kabirji, deep inside she knows that he's not king, he's just my son. But superficially, she has to follow the rules of the game. You getting it? Okay, who is this mother? Who is the small children? These small children are the sentient beings, samsaric beings, who create the convention and they are trapped in the convention. Whereas who's that mother? Who's outside the convention? Is the Buddhas. The Buddhas. But the Buddha also come into the game, right? took birth as a prince. And then even after attaining Buddhahood, he, goes to the king, Your Highness King, addressing his father as a Your Highness King, addressing with so much respect and so forth. He knows that this is all just small children's game conventions. But when in the game, he has to follow the rules and regulations. You getting it? So this is how, so now what should we do? We should discover that these are conventions as conventions. We are not to see the conventions as ultimate. We are not to see the relative, the deceptive. It's deceptive. Kabir is not game. It's deceptive. But we are bound by this. We are bound by this. So what is deceptive? Not to be seen as true. What is dependent? Dependent on you created this rule. You created this convention. Dependent on this. Dependent, don't see that as independent. You're getting it? Okay. So, is all your subjective imputation? Don't see this as objective. See it as subjective. When you see that, you are liberated. You will not suffer in the hands of the convention that you've created. Okay, we'll stop here. Deyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata